Sir David Attenborough once said, "No one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they've never experienced." More than ever, we humans experience a disconnect between ourselves and the natural world. We would much rather think of nature as something that is outside of us, somewhere out there. The same goes for our perception of carnivores. We reduce them to a threat, failing to recognize the vital roles they play in so many ecosystems around the world. Even here in Slovenia, amidst the cultural landscapes of Europe, the most majestic predators roam all throughout the country. And witnessing these remarkable creatures with your own eyes changes you. Seeing brown bears in the wild changes you. In this final chapter of our Slovenian adventure, we feel incredibly grateful to share our search for these elusive predators that, despite many hardships and human threats, continue to inhabit the wildernesses of Europe. So get ready, because this final chapter is unlike anything we've ever experienced before.
In the second part of our journey, we once again immersed ourselves in the stunning and untamed forest of Slovenia to continue in our search for the lynx.
Lynx are also known to feed on smaller prey than ungulates, for example moles or other rodents. So it's really cool. Just been watching a fox hunting on these rodents in the tall grass. And these fox are also a smaller predator in this area, but it can also scavenge on the prey of the lynx. So it's actually a competitor with the lynx.
We strategically used Lands advice and satellite and elevation maps to navigate locations where we expected the lynx might pass by.
So of course it's possible to see one of the 3 large carnivores in this area in real life, but the problem is that this area is so stretched out that it's very difficult to find them. But these camera traps, they're active at night and they are triggered, the motion sensor is triggered when an animal moves in front of the camera. So these devices actually help us to increase our chances to seeing one of these large carnivores in the area. Also in science, these camera traps are being used to study these elusive large carnivores that are so hard to find.
The grass is patented, so we know this is a common trail that these animals use. So we are looking for these kinds of hints on where to place the camera trap.
Hey Atze, do you know what a hedgehog is called in Slovenian?
Yes.
Yes, very nice.
After hours of quietly wandering through the forested mountains, we stumbled upon the scat of a lynx competitor that also roams these forests.
Okay, so we got really excited because this cat is probably from a wolf, based on its shape. And in this area, there's only a few hundred wolves left and they have huge territories. So it's kind of rare to find a scat. And not far from here is one of our camera traps. So there is a chance that this pack of wolves that passed by, or perhaps it's a solitary wolf, already is recorded on one of our camera traps.
And another one. So we're really getting close to the wolf now, I'd say.
Despite observing these tracks, we were not prepared in our wildest dreams for what we then encountered just 30 meters away.
They done did it again. Chasing fucking carnivores.
So at a certain point I saw something moving on the right. So I said, Justin, red deer, so go back. So we go back and we look at each other and it's like, fuck, there's wolves. So like I was shaking instantly and I was trying to make a picture of it.
Luckily I got it.
Got it!
Ik moest echt reageren van mijn leven af. Die pushed op mijn leven.
I tried to congratulate Achtu, but I almost pushed him up the fucking hill.
Like save my...
Seeing wild wolves in Slovenia with your own eyes is an extraordinarily rare event. So never in a million years do we expect this experience to unfold. But despite the odds being entirely against us, we were blessed with the sight of 4 beautiful wolves. Many of which still were young, which is a hopeful sign for the wolf. And while we were busy trying to make sense of how insanely lucky we just got, Mother Nature wasn't even finished with blessing our adventure just yet.
So we're back at this gorgeous ridge from day one where Lan took us to put our first camera trap. We collected all the camera traps and we're now heading back to him to see what we captured here. Very exhausted, we're so excited. It can be anything.
Incredible, so many species captured on our own cameras. Species we would never have witnessed otherwise. But Lan had another surprise for us. Footage of something extraordinary from his camera, positioned in the same location as one of our cameras a few weeks before.
Whoa! So we're making lunch now. We just said our goodbyes to Lan.
Yeah.
This was just insane. We kind of hid from him that we saw wolves and bears because we just wanted to wait for his reaction.
Nice. Wolf.
Where was
it?
We saw the whole pack.
Really?
Yeah.
And he was just awestruck. He was like, wolves are maybe even rarer than seeing a lynx.
Yeah.
I think he said he saw it like way less than he saw lynx in the wild, so that was just amazing. And then he just dropped that footage like it was nothing.
I can't believe how lucky we were. And also that he showed us one of his secret spots, that he took us there.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about him, that he trusts us and wants to share also the story of the lynx, you know?
Yeah, because that place, the footage that was taken there, we were only there like a bit less than 2 weeks later when that footage was taken. So it's insane.
So the bears in this area are known to cause a lot of trouble for the locals that live here as well. For instance, beekeepers that keep bees like these, the honey they produce. They're a delicacy for the birds, of course.
But maybe even a more urgent example of human-wildlife conflict arises with these livestock areas that are situated just outside of these forests. Particularly wolves, they like to hunt and prey on livestock because it's just an easy prey. As you can see, fences like these, wolves can basically just jump over. That is one of the major causes of conflict in the area, and also one of the main reasons why wolves and bears are persecuted in the first place. So in Slovenia, population management measures, such as hunting, play an integral role in Slovenian culture, but also these ecosystems in general. But for us personally, it was quite hard to come to terms with the fact that bears and even wolves
are hunted during annual culls in this country because they are European protected species. And last night we even ran into a local hunter when we were parking out there. And that was quite an interesting interaction, but also for us a bit disturbing.
I didn't shot it. Guys from Estonia.
Oh, so. And this is like a camera on the
rifle.
This is thermal camera on the weapon.
Oh damn!
Whoa. Oh, and then you. Oh.
Yes.
Wow,
That's so
it's
big.
A huge bear.
Yes.
It's very intense and not so nice to see.
I mean, they have their reasons for which they justify the population management, but still, even when he mentioned they killed the cubs, I was like,
For him, it was so normal. He just showed it as if it was nothing, because probably he grew up with the fact that bears are being hunted. But for us to see a wild bear being shot,
it's quite disturbing.
it was not so easy.
Yeah.
And we tried to, like, at least Justin tried to ask him questions about, hey, but what do you do with cubs? And he didn't really seem to be bothered. And me and Justin were like, okay,
Bit thrown off.
good, but we didn't want to like tell him in his face like what you do is wrong in his country.
And we even found bear meat on the menu in a local restaurant when we were eating here in Korchevje.
We see bear prosecuted. They have fucking bear on the menu.
So taking all these things into consideration, we thought it would be nice to arrange a meeting with a local hunter that can hopefully put this more into perspective for us.
The hunter is not answering the phone. Maybe he's hunting. Or maybe he was about to shoot a deer. But then his phone rang and the deer ran off.
That'd be funny.
That'll be a lot of fun for the deer. Because then it can continue to live.
As a happy deer.
Happy deer.
My name is Dylan. I'm a hunter, first of all. I come from a family that has a long tradition of hunting. That I know of, I'm the 6th generation. I'm really involved in nature conservation, and I work at Hunters Association of Slovenia, and I'm employed at the Life Lynx project. So we're doing everything we can to help the lynx population in Slovenia.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's really nice that you can combine these two things.
Yeah.
Because at first we thought like hunting is something very separate from nature conservation, and you actually explaining there's a lot of bridges between them. It's really interesting.
We try to do our best to bring these two fields, so nature conservation, science, let's say, and hunting together.
Yeah.
Getting genetic samples from the field, it's the hunter's job.
Okay,
We rely on them. They spend it.
They know the woods.
They know the woods. They spend the most time in the woods, and they're the most likely to come across cat, so they can sample it, and then they send all the samples into Ljubljana, and then our work can continue with analysis, getting the numbers, calculating the densities and everything. Yeah. So we really try to work together.
To learn more about this, we traveled to Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia.
So we now arrived at the Department of Biology, where we will have an interview with Thomas. He's a scientist. He studies also the lynx and the genetics. So we're gonna ask him some questions about the lynx.
I'm Tomas Skrbinšek. I'm a teacher here at the university and a researcher. With regard to the lynx, I'm mainly involved with lynx genetics. To understand the threats to lynx here, we must understand the history. That they were reintroduced in 1973 from 6 animals from Slovakian Carpathians. All the lynx here, up until the recent project, were basically offspring of these 6 animals. By the end of 1990s and beginning of 2000s, we started observing that the population was declining. But we are sure now that the main reason was inbreeding, so breeding between close relatives. We all have in our genome genes that would kill us if we got the same gene from both parents. If the offspring does get, by chance, 2 of these genes, then we have these genetic diseases we see in humans. Even if you start with 6 animals, this inbreeding level population is growing from generation to generation if they're randomly made. So you can think of it as cancer. It's eating the population from inside. It will start slowly, but then, as inbreeding accumulates, it will get to the point where it will kill the population. That's our lynx population was getting there. Our population is going to need gene flow. New animals are going to have to come in. it's a very simple solution. It's you don't have to be a rocket scientist for it. So I think that Lynx in Slovenia I don't think they're going to be doing poorly, but they will need assistance in the long run. Generally, large carnivores are, you must be a bit in love with the species if you want to research them. I mean, we biologists are known to get in love with our species. It may be some obscure beetle, or it may be a lynx or a bear.
Thank you so very much for allowing us to interview.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Thank you. Back to Kochevia, where we're continuing our search for the lynx with Tilen. As if our luck hadn't run out just yet, after seeing a brown bear and a pack of wolves earlier today, we ran into one of the most elusive predators of Europe. The lynx was busy feeding on a roe deer, so it didn't seem to notice us, but still we decided to leave it on its own in case we would disturb it.
What do you feel like now, Justin?
I think I'm in shock.
Yeah, I still can't believe it.
I can't even reach my emotion. I like
Yeah,
consistent
I'm the same.
goosebumps.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, we saw it, and that's
Yeah.
you have no idea how lucky you are, because this happened to me the third time in my life. So
Brother, I got
yeah, yeah, and so close and for such a long time, it's crazy. Yeah.
So wolf today.
What? Really?
I think we're just very lucky, man.
Yeah, you are.
We're
Extremely, really. We were seeing coming. Is this your first time here?
Yeah, 7 days, and we saw
7 days, and you saw a bear, you saw a lynx, you saw a wolf.
Yeah.
So the last picture I took today is this picture of the lynx, which is blurry, and the picture before is this picture. It's like, this is statistically impossible.
The gods are in our favor.
Ganesha, thank you
In
a
our
lot.
favor. And Tilen in our favor.
Lan, you know, he's in the forest all the time.
Yeah.
And he saw a wolf, I think, once.
At the beginning of our journey, which you can see in our last video, we asked Lan whether he, as a local expert and scientist, thought that spotting a lynx in the wild was a realistic possibility.
The chances are really slim. Usually this kind of stuff happens when you don't expect it. So I'm sorry to say this, but this is how it is. But still, you shouldn't give up.
Reflecting upon Lan's initial thoughts, now as our trip nearly ends, we realize how incredibly lucky we have been. After finding tigers, including cubs, and nearly encountering a snow leopard in Nepal, it's still difficult to comprehend that we in Slovenia once again found the large carnivores we were seeking. Apparently it is possible to find these majestic creatures with the assistance of local experts and their own dedication.
Or was it a matter of exceptional luck once more? We're still unsure, but we sincerely hope this film inspires and contributes to the protection of nature. In particular, the conservation of large carnivores worldwide. We want to thank you all for watching our 4th chapter of Chasing Carnivores, and if you enjoy our adventures, don't forget to subscribe, and we hope to catch you on our next journey.